It's only a game. Why you have to be mad?
What's up, people? In my Aimbot Anomalies video, I talked about zigzags and why they're happening. Because the aimbot creates a vector between it and the target, and if you move your mouse left or right when it's active, then you get the zigzag effect. Because the aimbot's trying to stay at the center of the target because it's most accurate there, and you're moving your mouse. And whether or not you have little subtle zigzags or more drastic zigzags is going to depend on what kind of settings the aimbot is set to. I also showed you this flusha clip in the Aimbot Anomalies video, and how he starts zigzagging once he gets behind the fountain here on Overpass. And I tried to explain how fast and impractical these movements are. And in these videos that I make, I try to play the clips in real time, and then slow the clips down to 10 or 20% of the game speed. And when the clips are slowed down that much, it doesn't really look that suspicious, until you go back and you watch that again in real time. Then you realize that yeah, these movements are extremely fast, they're pretty impractical, and they're consistent above all things, which is just strange to have this weird aiming pattern and be as consistent as they are. And some of these movements are adjusting as things are happening, which is impossible for humans to do. I mean, you have to realize there's a problem and then implement a solution to that problem. It takes a little time. You can't do it instantly. I know a lot of you want to see clips from non-cheaters so you can have examples to compare to, but unfortunately I'm not going to have anything like that in this video. I will make a separate video though trying to explain and compare the difference between cheating and non-cheating. Before I get into the clips, I need to remind everybody that I have the weapon recoil turned off so we see strictly their mouse movements. I have interpolation turned off so our interpolated demo doesn't get interpolated again. And I have show impacts on so we can see the bullet markers. If you have no clue what I'm talking about, I highly recommend you check out a video called Aimbot Anomalies. And if you have any questions about whether these movements are demo bugs, I also have a video called How Accurate is GoTV, and links for both of these videos will be down in the description below. The first part of this video is going to concentrate on zigzags, like I mentioned before. Alright, let's get started. Okay, here you're going to see flusha start shooting at his first target until his target steps behind the concrete, which is out of range, and then his second target steps around the corner. That's when his crosshair snaps to underneath his second target and does a zigzag up to him. Again, there's no reason for doing this. Like, what possible benefit could there be for zigzagging up to the target like that? It just looks like something an aimbot does. And you're going to see another zigzagging motion here with a second clip on this first target. And something also to pay attention to is how the crosshair adjusts back to the target after each shot. These adjustments can be smoothed, randomized, and humanized, so it's not so obvious when you're using aim assistance. But there is usually a speed difference, and the consistency of the precision is what gives it away. And here's an illustration to show the zigzag I was talking about. Here we have a small zigzag adjusting up to the head right before he stands up. And another illustration to show what I'm talking about. Here's another clip of a zigzag going towards the target. And here's another quick illustration. In this clip you're going to see flusha's crosshair shake over the target. It's a tiny shake, but it will shake over the target after the first shot. And here you're going to see the same thing. You're going to see a tiny shake after the second shot. It's hard to notice, but I'm going to zoom it in. Watch for the shake after the second shot above his head. Here you're going to see another zigzag as an adjustment towards the target. And another quick illustration to show you what I'm talking about. And if you need to, rewind this video, go watch this back in real time, and see if you can even see this movement. Alright, here in this first part of this clip, pay attention to how the crosshair keeps adjusting back to the target in between shots, and how the crosshair will also be pulled down adjusting for the punch of the recoil. And then after he kills his target, you'll see him look top mid, but before he actually shoots his weapon, he's going to do a zigzag before he shoots. And one more quick illustration to show you what I'm talking about. Okay, in this clip and these next couple of clips, you're going to see flusha hit what could be his aim key. And you're going to see it right now. And same thing in this clip, you're going to see flusha hit his aim key right here. Okay, this next adjustment is going to be extremely small also, but this is more about the timing more than anything. You'll see that as soon as his target comes within range, his crosshair starts adjusting immediately, until eventually he fires at him. And here's a close-up view of the same thing to kind of give you a better picture of what I'm talking about. Watch his crosshair adjust as soon as his target comes within range. Okay, same thing is going to happen here in the first part of this clip. You're going to see his crosshair adjust immediately once the target comes within range. And then on the second part, you're going to see him lock on his target, adjust before and after the deagle shot. Here you're going to see his crosshair react immediately once his target comes within range. Okay, here you're going to see the crosshair get tugged towards the target before he shoots. It's kind of hard to notice, so I'm going to zoom it in and play it again. Watch for the tug on the target before he shoots. Okay, in this clip I want you to pay attention to how the crosshair is getting tugged towards the target. You have these little adjustments when he steps around the corner. But once the target dies and he goes for the second time around the corner, you don't have any adjustments. See, this is actually a good clip to compare somebody who's cheating and somebody who's not cheating. When you're using a type of aim assist, you're always going to have these little adjustments towards the target, whereas a normal human can barely even recognize there's a problem, let alone adjust to the problem. And since there's no target the second time flusha steps around the corner, there's no adjustments, because there's no aim assist activated. And then the second part of this clip, again notice the adjustments in between shots, especially this first one that goes right to the guy's head. Here you're going to see flusha lock onto his target as he steps around the corner, and his crosshair is going to be tugged just slightly before he starts shooting. And of course, that smooth flick, the adjustment after the first shot. Here's another example of what could be flusha hitting his aim key. Here I want you to pay attention to all the adjustments that happen before the first shot and how there aren't any adjustments during the second shot. Again, because there's no target there. Or, well, there's a target, but it's just not within the FOV that the aimbot's set to. And then later on here, it looks like he possibly locked on the target and was tracking him through the wall. In this clip right here, you're going to see two edge locks from flusha. The first one right here, and then the second one's going to be right here, and he actually starts shooting at him through the wall before his crosshair locks back onto the edge. Okay, for this clip and the remaining clips in the video, I need everybody's full attention because the concept behind what I'm about to say is very important when it comes to aim assistance. Now, I've already mentioned this in this video and in previous videos, but this was explained to me on a more technical level, and I think the technical explanation is going to help everybody understand why these things are so sketchy. After the weapon's fired, the aimbot's going to adjust for the punch, meaning the pull down for the recoil on the weapon. And then the aimbot's going to move the crosshair to the target before he fires the next shot. And then the process repeats itself. He fires a shot, the aimbot adjusts for the punch, then the aimbot adjusts for the view angle before he fires the next shot, and so on and so on. These are these smooth flicks and adjustments that are happening in between shots that I've been talking about. Pay attention to what happens after the punch here on the first shot. How his crosshair jumps to the target. That's what I'm talking about. The speed and consistent precision of these flicks is what makes it sketchy, and this is what the remainder of the video is going to focus on. Okay, pay attention to the quick adjustment after that first shot. And then you don't really see any adjustments after that because it's a controlled recoil. If he were tapping, it would be totally different. Same thing here, he's got that fast, precise adjustment after the first shot. And you're going to notice the same thing on the third target, that fast, precise adjustment to initially get on target after the first shot, and then the rest is a controlled recoil. Same thing with this USP clip right here. So he's tapping with the USP, so we're going to have a lot of these adjustments in between shots. And you'll notice that as soon as his target goes behind the pillar, there's no more adjustments, because he's no longer within the field of view. And now since he can't see him, he needs to hit his information aim key to see where the target is, which he locks onto his target, and then the adjustments continue in between shots. And now I'm not saying you can't adjust to your target in between shots. I'm saying you cannot adjust this fast, this precise, and this consistent. Human beings have limitations, and just because you're a professional CSGO player doesn't mean you have superpowers. Got another clip of adjusting in between shots, this time it's with the CZ. Again, we have another clip of the Glock and adjusting in between shots because he's tapping. Here's another CZ clip of adjusting in between shots. Okay, this is going to be the last clip in this video. You're going to see him adjust to the target through the wall after he jumps out the window. And before anybody says that he has thousands of hours in playtime in the game and this is only like a 15-minute video or whatever, I did not scour over all of his games. Actually, they're all taken from like the first month after Fnatic got back together. And then there's some clips from the recent major also. That being said, this is nowhere near all the clips. So while flusha does have one of the better aimbots that I've come across, you can't hide this shit if people are looking for it. The problem is, though, nobody's really looking for it.
Don't mind the sound, guys, it's just my aim lock.